I do catch up once in a while.
Season already.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the first meeting of the Morgan County Drainage Board. And to my knowledge, this may be the first meeting of the whole county of the year. So let's bring on 2026 with open arms. If you'll please stand and follow Terry in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I do recognize a quorum. It is that time of the year that we have to do our reorganization. I look for motions for president.
I'll move we just maintain what we got.
We have a,
I know it's tax season, but
yeah, that's okay. We have a motion to maintain yours truly
Second.
and a second. Any others? Keith, would you like to be chairman of this board? Not for all of it. Yeah, you have to sign the NDA. Look to close nominations
move so moved.
and a
Second.
second. All in favor of keeping the status quo for president, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I will try to articulate and enunciate all my words to help you with your minutes. For vice president,
Nominate Don Adams.
I have Mr. Adams to be nominated as vice president. Brian Collier will second. Anybody else?
Move that they close.
We have a motion to close nominations. I'll second. All in favor of keeping Mr. Adams vice president, say aye.
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 Abstain.
By a slim margin, Mr. Adams has made it once again. Congratulations, Don.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need approval of the December minutes.
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any corrections, comments, concerns? Hearing none. All in favor of the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
You do a really good job. Before I get asked, I'm going to sign my copy and send it down.
I appreciate that.
Come on. It is two-pager.
Yeah, it was a long minute, long meeting.
Mr. Adams. Approval of the 19th check, 2026 meeting and submission schedules.
I move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 The schedule of meetings and the submission schedule are both approved as submitted. Ready grant update.
As you know, with the Ready Grant, they put new stipulations on us, but we're working really hard to get those. We're pretty close to moving forward with the Ready Grant. So at the beginning of the year, MPO put new time frame on us, and we're trying to meet it.
What do you need from this board to meet it?
Nothing, we're there.
Okay.
I talked to Joe Miller the other day about what else he had to do. He's close.
Okay.
But we hope to meet the deadlines. We're going to send him another note. We're going to send him a note and tell him we're going to meet the deadlines. So I just want to give you that update.
New business, meeting with Martinsville.
I've got a meeting next Monday at 1 o'clock with the mayor.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sure who else will be in there with us since Gary's not there, but we're going to discuss the Ready Grant that's coming up, what we're doing on that. We're going to discuss the ditches in town. We're going to discuss who's going to take Gary's spot and things like that. So it's just
I think Gary's staying till the end of January.
I think so. I think he's gone.
That's
Thought
a
he
check.
told me first day of February he'd be out there, is what he
but
told me, but
really?
it's changed.
He
hasn't it?
changed.
Okay.
Trust me, he's gone.
He's gone,
He's
okay.
gone. It all changed about a month ago.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're just gonna try to figure out who they're gonna have run their stormwater department, so we know who to contact and
Where's that meeting gonna be at?
in the mayor's office.
1 o'clock?
Contract with the V3 to get somebody.
Do they? Do they, Brian?
What's that?
I said they're going to.
Oh, Kenny says they're gonna hire you guys.
1 o'clock on the 12th?
Yeah.
I'm at the firehouse, but I'll see if I can take a lunch hour.
What's the day on that?
Monday, the 12th?
We're just gonna go over a few things.
We,
Start the year off right with them.
you know, absolutely. I think with as much grief as the commissioners have given the city with the construction and all that we've done for the last 5 years, I think the only thing that has saved that is just communicating.
Yeah, you have to communicate.
Because, you know, before I do anything, I want these two approval, and then before we do everything, I want the mayor to know and his group, so when they get the phone calls
Yeah,
and
the other one's gonna get the
the
phone.
social media, yes, absolutely.
No, I agree. And anytime we do work, they always know what we're doing.
Yep. Okay,
I've got one other thing for new business. If you look in your packets, you should have, everyone got those? Yeah, that is the current balance for all of our ditches.
Appreciate that. That was kind of neat to see.
And I think that's up to date, that's got the fall draw on it also. So we just wanted to give you that. I'm gonna try for our next meeting to have my classification of the ditches for you, so you can look at that next meeting. So. But I thought it'd be good you guys have this in hand, so you can see what we have.
there's not a correct answer. And I understand we are taxed to death, and I understand no more taxes. It's too easy to say. But this does not seem to generate a whole lot of revenue
You know, we try to,
we have to do to keep them clean.
a lot of these we try to keep drawn down because it's stipulation, once they get to a certain point, we gotta shut them off.
Right.
So, you know, Lake Ditch looks really large, but Lake Ditch is
A very large ditch.
probably 20, 30 miles once you add all the tributaries, so it's a monster ditch. So if we do one project, it'll eat that up.
Right.
You know, like all the other ones, though, we've been doing projects all along to try to keep it drawn down. We can always raise them, I believe, 25% without having a hearing, but once we go over 25%, we gotta have a hearing.
Is that annual? Is that
One time,
just one time in
one
the
time,
history?
and we haven't done it to any of the ditches.
I would rather take all the chewings in the social media and raise it to where it needs to be versus on $10, $2.50.
We'd have to have a hearing to raise it, a public hearing.
You can actually use like Lake Ditch on all the contributaries that
Yeah,
go into it. Really?
when we took Lake Ditch in, we combined all the tributaries, so they're all,
Oh, okay.
They're all
They're in
combined.
there.
They're in.
Okay.
used to, we had.
Most of them's not like that though, right?
No, just that one.
Just that one, okay.
We,
That's what
we
I
took
thought.
12 tributaries and put them all in Lake
Okay.
Ditch when we redid it all.
Did it.
How hard do you think it would be to describe how we bring in a ditch, what we do to a ditch, what we have to do with the ditch, and say what monies come in, how we collect that money?
We can,
Newspaper story. My point of it is, I took some chewings, and then I had, people thought that we should be able, because they pay into,
yeah,
maybe it's Sedgwick.
solder especially. We get a lot of people yelling at us at solder.
Hilldale, or who would pay if you're paying back off of Leonard Road?
Leonard Road?
Yeah. They said they paid a ditch, and they wanted us to clean that creek that runs off through Leonard Road. And I said, we can't do that. And they said, well, you've done it before. And I
I
said,
don't think I have any ditches in Leonard Road.
Yeah, I don't think so. either.
there's not a ditch, there's a
There's
creek.
not a regulated drain, no.
But that creek flows into one of our regulated, and so they got assessed, and they said that we ought to clean it. And I looked it up, and I said, no, we don't.
Not that ditch, it's not the regulated. If their ditch,
It does, but the assessment went on
Yeah.
up because they
the
feed
the
into
rec-
it.
the receiving, so probably Hilldale Cemetery would have to be coming off of Lunar.
Right, and my point was, they thought since they paid their $5, that we should be able to do all the creeks that ran into it.
Yeah, they have that issue, but we just maintain the receiving stream.
NAR.
Yeah.
Because it was flooding them.
Yeah.
And I said, I move dirt in that, and I go to prison.
Yeah,
That is a
Oh, yeah, we
protected
can't touch
waterway.
that. That's a-
Yeah.
that's a
But
stream.
people don't understand that. They pay $5 and they want that all cleaned up. And that's,
Kirsten and I will work on that and try to get you a
This is-
pamphlet or something.
yeah, how does that work?
What about putting that on the webpage?
We can.
I think
We
that.
can.
I know how it
And
works. I just get tired of answering.
I know, we get the
every
same, we get the
spring-
calls
every
all the
spring, all the
time.
calls.
Every time taxes come around, people come talk to us about it.
Right.
We get a lot of calls up here behind Walmart because they pay into solder.
And then we still need to address the one guy, and I don't even know how we're gonna help the one gentleman that's not here that
Yeah.
floods off.
Yeah. Kirsten and I will work on something, try to get that up.
Until we move more water back off of Sutter, back off of that Walmart parking into
Yeah, and that's our next,
L, we're not gonna control the rapid rise of Sutter.
we're not. And that's part of our READY grant. We're gonna try to take some of that water off of solder, because some of it's going solder that shouldn't go there, because they built that, somebody dug an extra ditch through there. So we're gonna try to redirect that back in the cemetery where it should go. So that'll help a little bit, but not a lot. The Walmart, that whole area is what we have to work on. And you know, I've asked Burke to give me a price, because they already did the watershed, they've already looked at it, and Dave was on vacation for a couple of weeks, and he said he'd get it to me first of the year.
And I'd be curious, and I don't know, it'd be interesting, like, if you could tell people down there in Keith's neighborhood, if we get a 4-inch rain in a 24-hour period of time, head to the hills.
Yeah.
No pun intended. If we get 4 inches over 7 days, you'll probably be okay.
You'll be
If we
okay,
get
but if you
5
get-
inches over 7 days, you're still gonna head to the,
You're gonna
but
hit.
we have no way to gauge how much is going into that to
You know-
professionally monitor, to do the proper, maybe through EMA, we get some type of grant, some study, and then that would be the basis of future expansion of the ditch.
Yeah, I mean, we've already done a watershed study, so we know where the water's coming from. You know, we know that, and we know that the large portions coming on the other side of 69 at us, we know that.
But that field that's not developed, I always call it the Lowe's field.
Yeah.
When that develops, it goes to asphalt, we will get a ton more water.
But that's what the READY grant's gonna do, get that back to cemetery where it should go.
Right.
Right now, most of it goes to solder, and it shouldn't go to solder because of that one ditch. But you know, that really dumps down there pretty low. It dumps down in that new culvert we put in, is where that comes across. So that's pretty low down on solder. The water is coming up north of there, is where we're getting most of the water. So we gotta figure out how to slow that down. So, and that's what we're gonna work with Walmart with.
Okay.
We're gonna have, like I say, Burke's gonna look at that for us and give us a quote what it'd take for, you know, to do it for us, so. So, we're gonna look at it.
But they always talked about behind the Catholic Church, I think their name's Smith, they own 35, 40 acres up there. And at one time, somebody looked to try to buy all that, and they didn't sell it to develop it, put, 30, 40, 50 homes up there.
Oh, yeah, on top of that, on that hill coming down this, yeah. That all goes to solder.
Yeah. And-
Almost a
and-
whole-
And I'm
what-
telling you,
almost-
right now, on Fifth Street, that water just flies down through
Well,
there.
The entire east side of town goes into solder. The entire
it
east side of the
does.
city, and the rest of it goes to Nutter.
Nutter.
Very little goes in the cemetery.
Monster watershed.
It's a huge one, especially impervious watershed.
So the moral of the story to the mass people
We built a floodway right here.
is that we're aware of it. We try to monitor it. Yes, sir.
As long as Indian Creek and White River are down, you don't have that much problem with Sarder. If they fill up for some reason and their water flow is impeded or stopped, like it was in 2008, then you've got major problems.
Oh, yeah, we do, because there's no place for the water to go, and it spreads out.
That's what caused the 2008
Oh, I know, it was Indian Creek backing up, is what caused it. You know,
See water running north,
oh, yeah.
you're in trouble.
Well, we see that all the time in Nutter, coming out of the river, but the new levee should stop that out of Nutter, so.
And I remember talking to DNR back in '08, and I said, you're gonna have to let us dredge that, clean
Yeah,
that out. And
Indian
they said,
Creek needs
and the
dredged.
guy I talked to could run with us, you know, he's one of us, and he's like, good luck. You know how much paperwork there is to do
Oh, my
that?
gosh.
He said, there's no way.
You'd almost have to have the governor say,
Yeah.
give you a statement.
Or the
sign off on
president.
An order saying we must clean this,
Yeah. He said, no, because I said, it makes no sense for us to lower Nutter 2 feet below Indian Creek. I said, it goes backwards.
Indian Creek comes backwards on us, and so does White River. People don't, usually the floods that come out of, up on the west side of town is coming out of the river. It's not Nutter doing it, it's a river doing it.
Right. Well,
Do you remember the Walnut Street storm sewer project here in town?
Yeah, I do, Keith.
Do you remember the guy that designed that tried to tell the city that water would run uphill? Because the drain that was put in, the pipe was below the level of starter
It
ditch.
is, yeah, it is. And
And
now it
it's
fills up all the time.
Yeah, and he stood in there and said, oh, well, we've got water running uphill.
Only thing I looked at on that was the outlet, and they put it up, they put it lower than the level, and I said, okay, if you think it'll work. I mean,
And you got your answer.
any other business to come before the,
yeah, Bill got stuck in traffic. He called and said, I'll get there when I get there. He gave me his report.
I delayed as long as I could. I covered for him.
He did, though. He called and said, didn't he, Kirsten? He said, I don't know, I'm in traffic. I don't know when I'm gonna get there. Our upcoming, river cleanup's gonna be March 21st at 9 o'clock at Three Rivers, same place we always meet. And then, we are going to, do a public education, outreach this spring, and that's what your pamphlet's for. That's Bill's first draft of what our outreach is gonna look like. He's gonna go to chambers, he's gonna go to meetings, he's gonna go a bunch of other events and just talk to people. I think Kirsten said, he said maybe even go to the library and have a meeting at the libraries and things like that. But I know he's gonna go to the 2 chambers for sure, so. We just wanted to give you that so you guys can look at that. If you got any questions, you can call us and let us know.
How long's this presentation, does he?
It'd probably be a half hour at the most.
This would be the ideal time to throw in 3 or 4 more slides on your $5 per 6 month and regulated, maybe just a small section on regulated ditches.
Yeah, I mean, we could look at that and talk to Bill. Yeah.
Because then he's killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
You got that written down, Kirsten? Okay.
Good idea.
We will. We'll look at that. That's all I have.
Well, and that would be a basis too. We could eventually, with maybe videotaping and put it on our own as a tag it to our own webpage.
No, we definitely can get up on the web pages for sure.
Okay, super. I think that would,
Because I've got a pamphlet downstairs that tells you what my office does, but it doesn't go into details about the ditches. It just tells you we take care of regulated drains, but it doesn't
Right.
say how we do it, so.
Countywide ditch tax.
That's all I have, guys.
any other business to come before this board? And if not, I ask for an adjournment. Motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Meeting is